Hello, and welcome to The Cup TV, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real entity in reality, and where you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm your girl, Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because I love me some tea, purr. And if you have some tea, you know what to do. Hit me up. I'm skipping all through my intro because it's not about me today. It's not about me, but I won't skip through this. Get your cup merch, period. If you have, if you live in the U.S., Canada, Mexico for sure, get your cup merch at lanagscreations.etsy.com. The link will be in the description below. And but like I said, it's not about me today because you see who it is. You see who's here. It's Nick Grasso from Deal or No Deal Island.
Hey, Lana, what's going on? First off, it is about you, and I'm going to need one of those cups. That's for sure.
Period. The link will be in the description below, period. But yeah, it's so good to have you on. We are going through our Deal or No Deal Island cast this season, which I'm very happy and shocked about because I thought personally, I was like, oh, we'll just go get Kim because I know Kim.
Okay.
And I was like, we'll just get Kim. That'd be great. Then it was like, no. Then I jumped in.
Babe. You got us all.
I'm like, I love it. And I love every segment because you all have been such a refreshing cast and fun to watch. I was like, this is interesting. It's been very interesting.
Real refreshing,
Yeah. I mean, I watch a lot of reality TV.
Okay.
So you get a lot of different group of people. So it's like, I don't like them, but I like the show and I like the format. Or I like the format, I don't like the format, but I like this cast. This one, I like the cast and I like the format. So I'm very happy.
Yeah, the casting, they definitely did a great job at getting a broad variety of people. So, they did a great job with that. So hats off to them.
Absolutely. It's been great. I've been having the best time watching. And we got to talk about this last episode because we got to talk about it.
I think we
and you were sitting right there when all this went down. So we will talk about it. But first, let me take care of some quick business. If you're here and I see you here, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, do all the things that say you support this channel. Go support our other 3 channels. We have our main channel at The Cup. If you're a fan of drag or drag race of any kind, go support that channel. Go at The Cup Pod. If you're a fan of Eurovision Song Contest, go to The Cup ESC. And if you're a fan of wrestling, go to The Cup Ringside because we have it all. So go hit the notification bells and subscribe to all of those channels. We need the subscribers.
You better subscribe.
Period. You heard what Nick said. Y'all better.
Lana, quick question. You ever did drag bingo before? You ever been to drag bingo?
I have not. Not me, but I am sure my other panelists have.
That you're missing out. So get to it.
That's on my bucket list is going. First of all, I have to go to a drag show. I have not been to a drag show yet.
Me either.
So that's what's next for me. I'm going to go to a drag show. I'm trying to get to DragCon in LA. So
okay,
that might work.
Drag bingo.
Absolutely, I'm gonna work that out. I'm gonna work that out. But okay, so let's talk about your journey getting to Deal or No Deal Island. How did that come about? Did you just one day I just see an ad and I'm just gonna fill out the paperwork? How did you get there?
So it's actually a pretty long and lengthy journey. A few years ago, when I was just young, single, I was just hanging out, going to Miami, back and forth. I got a DM from one of the cast, the recruit, asking about some other show.
Okay.
Oh, I'll try out for it. Whatever. Shot in the dark. Go out for it. I do little calls, little Zooms. I don't make it, So then contact with my casting recruit. And then next thing you know, he reaches out to me again for another show recently. And then I think it was originally supposed to be Money Island. I don't remember the show name.
Mm-hmm.
So then I was actually going to be a finalist on the show.
Oh,
Then apparently
oh,
it got cut last minute for another.
mm,
So then speed up time a little bit, not to make a long story longer, but then I get another DM from the same person saying, "Hey, I got the show. The producers loved you from the last one. They're producing this one. Are you still interested?" I'm like, I brought up to my fiance now because now I
right.
got bigger fish to fry, than reality TV. But I brought it up to her, and she was like, "Are you kidding me? You better do it. You better go for it." I was like, "All right." So she gave me the kick in the ass. Sorry for the cursing that I needed, and I got onto it. And then it was just like a long series of Zooms, videos, and all that. And then here I am on Deal or No Deal Island.
That's wild. And it's so funny because your story seems like a lot like Miranda said the same thing. Like somebody just came and was like, "Hey, do you want?" She saw an ad on. Oh no, she saw an ad on the
Yeah, but a
and she
few
filled it out.
that
Kim was like the same thing. Yeah, that was Kim.
great.
That's wild. Look, nobody ever jumps into my DMs. I wonder.
They
I,
don't trust me.
you
I
know,
see it in you. You have it in you. I'm telling
it's
you.
it's in there. It's in there.
Oh,
I really do believe that.
for sure.
But so after when you got on the show, when your first day on the island, were you just like blown away? Like what?
Yeah. I honestly, we had no idea what we were getting ourselves into.
Yeah,
New show seems sketchy coming. We're like, they're like, "Oh, we can't tell you anything about the show, this, that." So we're like, "Oh God," I'm like,
this is how I'm gonna die.
let me bring an egg with me, just in case they got. So I finally get to the island. I get off the airplane. I can't see anybody, so I'm lost in the airport for a little while. I'm like, "Oh God, here we go. I'm done." I'm like texting my fiance, "Hey, it was nice knowing you." Get to the island after that. But then, finally everybody gets together. And now once you get there, you don't know what we're gonna do as like a
Mhm,
show because it's a
mhm,
show, but you're just sizing up everybody. So now,
right.
so I see Kim, elderly lady. Not saying she's old, but she's an elderly lady too.
Mhm.
And I see Aaron, smaller guy, and I see just a mix of different people. And I'm the biggest guy there. And I'm like, hmm. I'm like, this might be a little easy. It's the first thing that comes to my mind. I don't know what it is, but I'm like, all right. So I'm liking what I'm seeing, for the first things first.
Yeah. So, did you know who Boston Rob was when you got there? Did you have any idea who he was?
I had no idea. I never watched Survivor.
Hmm.
I honestly, the only really reality TV shows I watch are Jersey Shore. Well,
Ah,
go
okay.
figure. The Challenge. I love The Challenge. A big challenge guy. And that's pretty much it. So I had no idea who he was. Even like Claudia Jordan, I had no idea who she was. I'm just like, oh, he's an elderly guy, whatever. I'm like, shouldn't be an issue. Another check off the box.
Right.
They saw Jib like murmuring, oh, you know who that is? I'm like, they're like,
Oh.
Boss Rob. I'm like, who the hell, Boss Rob? I'm like,
Oh,
Brooklyn. That's why I literally said, I'm Brooklyn Nick, so what's up? And that was it. And then, so
Brooklyn Nick.
that's how the day started. I was like, all right, Boss
Uh,
Rob be an issue.
oh, all right. So, I do. I figured you didn't know who Rob was. Of course, being the reality fan I was like, oh, interesting. I, and when I saw Kim, I was like, oh, she definitely knows exactly who Rob is, and she was like, she made it known to
Right.
pretty much everybody who he was, which I probably would have did the same thing. But once you found out who he was, did that change how you viewed him as a player? Or were you kind of like, still, I'm Brooklyn Nets,
Yeah.
like,
I mean, you still. So once I found out he was like a reigning Survivor champion and whatever, like All Star, all that. Um,
mm-hmm,
I changed a little bit, like, because now I gotta watch out for him because now I know that he knows how to play and
mm-hmm,
he is reality TV.
right,
So that's the one thing that changed. Competition wise, nothing really changed to me. Like I still like have like the utmost confidence in myself,
right,
but you got to watch out for the social aspect of everything now, knowing that he is literally a master at this. So that's the
absolutely.
one thing that changed. So I'm glad that Kim and even Branson and Amy threw it out
Mhm.
there. away that this guy, he's the real deal.
Okay. So, what was your perception of yourself? Like during the show, how did you think you were going to be perceived by the audience? Like, did you see, like, oh, they're just going to think I'm this, big guy who's going
Yeah,
to.
pretty much. I thought, being a big guy, especially from Brooklyn, I got the little accent, I got that look to me that people say, I don't know what that look is, but they say I look.
Yeah, you
Um,
got the look. I know what the look is.
I
You got it.
it's a good thing.
It
But
is.
I'm a little worried at how I'm gonna be perceived by everybody else in the island. Like I said, I'm the biggest guy there. We don't know what's going on, and just automatic attraction. You're looking at who's the biggest target, and just being
Right.
the bigger guy. I'm in shape. I could do physical things. I
Mm-hmm.
assumed as myself would be a big target. So to me, like I'm not even doing push-ups on the island. Like I wanted to stay in shape, but at the same time,
You
I
don't look like that.
step back and not look like I'm the big juice head guy who's going to do push-ups all day and run circles around people. So I had to take that into account. So if you see, I don't know, the arm sleeves might get a little smaller throughout the episodes just because of push-ups every day. So
Mhm.
about that, all right?
I mean, it looked good because I will say my panelist, Logan, who is usually here with me doing these things, he was like, for this episode, he was like, you know what? Nick might not be the best paddleboarder, but we got him without a shirt, so I'm okay with that. He was very okay with that, and I was like,
Like,
absolutely, we not mad. Anytime you take off the shirt and you walking around, we not mad.
I think I had the shirt off a lot more than I had the shirt on. So
Absolutely, yeah, I
he's
kind of
fine.
think you did, and that was perfectly fine by everybody there who was watching. Me personally, I enjoyed it. Look, no disrespect to your fiance,
Yeah, she
appreciate it, but yeah, absolutely. So I do want to know when you because did you watch Deal or No Deal, the game show?
yeah, all the time when my mother.
Hmm. That was my household too. We just watched it. So were you? So you knew what Deal or No Deal was and how the aspect of Deal or No Deal came.
Yeah,
Being on the fact that now we got this island aspect to it and these excursions you had to go on. I kind of, for me, I was like, okay, this is cute. This is cute. The,
yeah.
the whole excursion part to get the money or whatever. The challenges seemed they were interesting. Like just to start off with the whole mud thing, I was like, okay, yeah, very reality
Whew.
TV, very
That
challenge esque
that
of
was
them.
a punch in the face. First day you running around, you don't know what you're running into, and
Mhm.
I have white pants on, so now I'm dressed for the beach. I'm dressed for some cocktails. I'm dressed for something.
Not that.
Those white pants. Let's just say rest in peace to those things.
Absolutely. Oof. Absolutely. Yeah, I was like, they didn't even warn y'all. They didn't tell y'all to come dressed in athletic gear or something you didn't mind getting dirty. Just
No,
but yeah, like
but
even
thought.
go ahead. But yeah, to start that off, like that's the first challenge. I would have been like you said, punch to the face, like, whoa, okay, this is what we're doing.
That's
If this is first, what's to come?
that's literally what went through my mind. I'm like, oh my god, if I make it past this day, I don't know what's next.
But we see what was next, and you've been doing pretty well in these challenges. You've been lot and lot. And here's the thing: I was like, I'm sure everybody's like, oh, he's just gonna blow through everything because he's so good, probably so good at everything. You've been holding. Have you been holding back? Was it a conscious decision? Were you holding back, or was it just no? These are hard.
I can't say I was holding back. I was like I wanted to give it my all and everything, but a lot of the things, like not to say it's all luck, but a lot of the things came down if it was the right circumstance. Like walking through the mud, I went through the middle because I thought it was the hardest part of the whole mud pit, which it
Mhm.
was, but it didn't have the highest reward.
Right,
Like I'm working the hardest, but I'm not getting rewarded for it. Meanwhile,
right,
ran around didn't even get dirty, and he had the $1 million case.
right.
I'm working hard, but the odds are just around in my favor for the most part.
That's so wild. And I think luck had a lot to do with a lot of it, especially like with the swing, and because like you swing it, it's gonna
You're
fall.
I'm throwing things with my eyes closed, you know?
Right. It's like it's just gonna fall where it's gonna fall, and it's really not much you can do
Yeah.
about it. So, were you? Oh, I think I remember. Were you in on the Kim plan?
I was not in on the Kim plan. I was just there, you know, because a lot of people, like, I don't know if they explain it to a lot of people, this explained it as a 2-part challenge. So
Mm-hmm.
in 2 different days because it was just a long challenge. So the plan was changed, and then the second part of the excursion, like those people behind us were part of the plan, so to speak. But
Mm-hmm.
me, I had already went. The plan was just whatever the plan was. It had nothing to do with me. I was just, it's, what is it, the second, third day?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to stay out of the limelight. I don't want to be part of no plan. I don't want to be a plan and all that. So I'm like, you know what? Keep me out of it.
Right. Yeah, because that plan seemed to fester a lot throughout the up
Yeah.
until this particular episode.
It's just like, how are you gonna make a plan based on a whole thing of luck? You're throwing a bag with your eyes closed and you're trying to plan around it. And
Right.
kind of was a faulty plan, you know.
It, very much so. It was very faulty from the get go, and as we see, it caused some people a lot of issues
Yup.
down the line because you wanted to make this plan. So, so not knowing the format of the game when you first got there, what was your immediate strategy
It was
going in before you
my,
changed?
my immediate strategy was just to run through all the challenges. You know, like I said, I'm the biggest one there. I have very confident in my ability. Just forget physical, like my mentality also. Like, I'm a smart dude. I know it may not come off that way because I'm just a big guy with the muscles, you know, from Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt like I had a leg up on everybody there. So my mentality was just to run through everybody and just not even look behind.
Yeah, we heard about how intelligent you are because I love that you were like, look, I am not just a physical threat. I'm
Yeah,
smart. I placed very high in this New York sanitation department test, and like that's a hard test to take.
yeah. People underestimate us, you know, but it's a lot of like common sense. It's a lot. You got to know how. Just being from New York and Brooklyn,
Hmm.
street smart. You know, you never know what's around the next corner. But,
Absolutely,
you know, it's a lot. 90,000 people took this test, and to be in the top 500, I think that's the upper echelon of the whole test. So
absolutely.
it can't downplay that.
Absolutely. I think, look, my grandfather always said, whatever you do, you be the best at what you do. So if it's sanitation, if it's nursing, if it's just if it's whatever, just
Anything,
be
yeah.
the best at it and just do it. And so I'm like, absolutely, you should be proud of that.
Thank you. I appreciate
You should be. And it was good to see. It was so good and refreshing to see that she was just like, look, I'm not I'm not your
it.
average gym rat jock guy who's just gonna be like, yeah, my muscles is
Yeah.
gonna get me through
If you,
everything.
I know I said I don't really read much in the bluffer challenge, but that is true. It doesn't mean I'm not. You know, I leave the reading to my fiance.
Man, I love to read, so I can't relate, but
You could read. You could read for me too.
yeah, I'll do that. I definitely will do that. Um. Oh no, I got a question. Okay, hold on, let me look. Oh, okay, I know what I want to do because I want to get into this episode because man, this
Because,
was I think this was the most excited we were to jump into the recap because we just did our recap yesterday,
okay.
and me and Logan were like, we had to postpone it for some issues that we were like, oh, I want to postpone. I want to just do it because it
Yeah.
was so fun. Talk me through that moment when Stephanie. First of all, congratulations that you and Rob won immunity that time,
Yeah.
and yeah, even with the powder boating that y'all didn't know how to do so well, you
It's
still ended up being immune.
that Boston Rob Luck is. I've never seen something like that in my. Let me tell you.
I said I was like, wait, hold on.
Me tell you, because if that was me by myself, I would have got a 0 in that case. So that Boston Rob Luck is serious.
It is so weird because I was like, these few episodes that we've gotten thus far, Rob has been the luckiest person.
And it's just pure luck. Like, obviously he knows what he's doing. He got skill,
Yeah.
but we were not skilled in this challenge. And I could thank luck all the way through for that one.
It was fun to watch it. But it was fun to see y'all get through it. The whole let's try standing up on it. I was like, no,
Yeah.
not y'all big old boy trying to stand up on the top.
At that point, we were already almost pretty much a full length behind everybody. So we're like, let's just have some fun. Let's just see
Right.
what we got. And we didn't have much.
But y'all got through it and you got the most and you were immune. So it was kind of like awesome work.
I'll take that.
Right. And so now that you're immune and you decide that you're going to pick Stephanie to go in and play Deal or No Deal. Now she's playing the game and she's doing what she do. Yeah, you excited. I see. But the second Joe asked Alyssa the question, everything just goes off the rails.
Yep.
Talk. You
Joe,
were sitting there. Talk me through this.
so Joe knows what he's doing.
Absolutely,
He is the biggest instigator I ever seen in my life. But I love him for it. The people watching love him for it because you got what you got last week. So, he asked Alyssa, yeah, exactly what he said. He's like, think about it, right? And then she decided to take the apocalyptic path, to so to speak. She said, I don't really care. I'm not paying attention. And then I'm sitting in the front row. I'm like, I like take a gulp. I'm like, oh, because I know Steph. Steph is very articulate, very, adamant about her game and just about her life. So, and about her pride. So now you're just coming at her as a person, like, oh, why are you not paying attention to me? I know it's a game, and we've got beef, but now you want to blow it up.
All right.
So she blew it up, all right. And I think Steph would want to blow it up a little bit. It seemed like she was waiting for it.
Yeah.
So once Alyssa said that she's not paying attention, she don't care. Steph, just a fire lit under her. You know what? He just went off in the most elegant way I've ever seen. Yeah. I'm there front row. I'm sitting courtside. She was using some words I never even heard. I didn't know these words were. She used a word, pontificate. I swear to God, I never heard her before in my life.
Yes, pontificated.
So beautiful. I might name my baby that. The way she said it, I was like, oh, this is a good ass word. I'm like,
I love that word.
But I love it too now. I still don't know what it means, but I love it. So and Steph was just going off, and then she didn't raise her voice.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't curse. She said what she had to say. She got her meeting through. She got her piece out. And then Alyssa was just trying to say that, I'm playing the game honest. I do that honestly. But then we just saw right prior to it, she was throwing her number one under the bus to Rob.
Absolutely.
On a fake out.
Just trying to get in Rob's good graces.
Like, thankfully for Aaron that Rob is
smarter than that.
On top type of reality TV player and smarter than the average bear, that he was like, what are you talking about? Aaron, come right here. What's going on? Right. So the fact that she did that, and now she's claiming that she's all real, she's honest, all this, but we just saw that.
Right.
To your number one. It's not even like you're lying on me.
Right.
Well, you can lie on me, and I respect that's game.
Right. But you're number one?
This man will he'll jump in front of a bullet for you. But it seemed like she wouldn't spit on him if he was on fire at that point.
That moment, it was like.
And when I saw that on TV, my jaw dropped. I had no idea about this. I was like, because then at first we seen the clip that Rob was telling Steph that Alyssa just threw Aaron under the bus to him, and I thought Rob was lying. Rob's trying to throw a little mind screw around to Steph.
Right.
Then I clip that he was. I said, "Oh my God!" I said, "What kind of game is this girl playing?" So whatever Steph said during that blow up, you saw my face. I was cheering for her. So that's a night owl, baby. So we ride or die.
I love that name. First of all, I love that name for an alliance, and y'all were so good. I was like, this is the group I'm cheering for. This is side I'm cheering for. I needed a side, and I knew who I liked. I was like, I just need them to come together. Everybody who I like needs to come together.
It just happens naturally,
It
you know.
just did. Very happy. But yeah, when I watched her tell Rob Aaron was trying to get him out, I was like, huh, what?
I
And
think
then when she
was like,
what is that even coming from? But then she's like, sometimes you have to maneuver things and make things up to get where you're going. I'm like, oh,
yeah, I get that if it was like bottom
yes,
bottom 2, bottom 3. You're doing that with how many people left? 8 people left,
8
right?
people. It
You
just
one. That's your one. If he's gone, nobody else is protecting you. So
yeah,
you're on a fast track on your way out of here. So I don't know what.
absolutely. I just found it to be very interesting, but I was like, like you said, I get why she did it. If she was gonna wait until it was like final 4,
Yeah,
final 3, maybe
because
it's game. Yeah, but when you're doing that and you're doing it so early, it's kind of
But because now, like I said, if let's say he does agree, he does believe you, and they take Aaron out, who's protecting you?
right.
Aaron was ready to fight with you. He's your knight in shining armor.
Yeah,
But
he's ready. I mean, he did everything he can to make sure you stayed in the game. Like even when the
against
Miranda
Rob,
incident.
he went against Rob to protect
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. So Rob, you were not my number one. Like literally was like, if I put you, if it's you in the list, you going in. And I was just like, and you throw him under the girl.
I don't know what that was. I think that was a miscalculation on her part, to say the least.
Absolutely. I'm like, if you pick your allies and stick with them
Yeah,
until you can't. Because at some point in some games,
yeah.
you just
You can't
can't.
exactly.
But at that, I was.
And
But
now
then, yeah.
going forward, let's say she is on another TV show. Who wants to be an ally?
Villains. She's gonna
Not
be in
me.
House of Villains.
And she's gonna be number 1 target there. So I don't. Her stay won't last too long in that mansion.
Yeah, it's definitely a interesting situation. Baby, you dropped this again. It's interesting. I was
Interesting.
blown away. But then she, like you said, she turned around and was like, "I'm an honest player.
Yeah,
I'm honest. I'm real. I do this. You know."
you just blew yourself up, and now you're trying to cover your tracks, but camera, it's
Yeah,
on the big screen, so
it didn't make sense. It wasn't. It wasn't adding up. I wasn't buying it.
Aaron, nonetheless, crazy part. That was the biggest shock. Anybody else, whatever, game's game, but you did.
Mm-hmm.
That's your man. That's supposed to.
Right. Like I said, if she would have did it to you, if she would have did Dawson, she would have did it to
Yeah.
even Rob. Like even if she would have did it to Rob, that would have made sense. I was like, okay.
This just didn't.
It just didn't make sense with Aaron because Aaron, like you said, will fall on the sword for her and will
Literally.
like jump in front of a bullet for her. And she was not willing to. She was just so willing to let it go. And I was like, wow.
Guys, see you later. All right.
Right.
Positive.
I do want to know though. So, like you said, of course, you said Stephanie was the night owl, and she was one of your, and you were cheering for her because I had a little issue. I will say I had an issue with how I was like, because I get what Rob was saying and what they were like. No, don't say anything now that she's gone because Alyssa was gone, and in my head I was like, yes, okay, she can go. Sorry, not sorry, she can go. But like she it was like once she was gone and Amy said something and Rob was like, let's not talk about she's not here to defend herself. And I was like, my God, it just happened. Like we're still in the moment. We can't just turn it off.
Yeah.
Because this person is no longer here to defend themselves.
I agree because she was there the whole time when this whole thing was happening, and they were going back and forth, so she had opportunity to defend herself. The fact that Rob chimed in, that's just him, I think, just being an adult and just doing the TV thing. He has 5 daughters.
Yeah.
So he's just doing his TV.
Right.
I was like, whatever to that. As I was sitting there, I was just, let me just sit back because I'm out of this. Let me stay out of this conversation. But
Mm-hmm.
for her, but you can't tell, in my opinion, you can't tell somebody not to have their own opinion. I don't care.
Right.
She had to go. She was not allowed to be on set anymore. On the stage, she was booted. So it's not our fault that people still have emotions still flowing. You know,
Absolutely.
there's a reason why people wanted so and so out, and then they're gonna get it out. They're gonna let them know whether they're there or not. This is reality TV, baby. So you got you got to let it out. I get where he's coming from. A tiny bit just from like a dad aspect,
Right.
but this is TV, and he knows what he's doing at the end of the day too. So
Yeah, absolutely. I was kind of like,
yeah,
I get it, but I'm like, this is
just
still the moment.
keep your mouth shut. That like me, I kept my mouth shut. Let them go off, go
I mean,
off.
because I feel like it needed to happen.
Yeah, I agree. Because then what? Now you're going to talk about it. It's still on your chest. It's still on your mind. And she's not going to be on the island when we go back to camp. She's
Right.
not when we wake up in the morning. So things are hot. Let them keep cooking.
Absolutely. And then with Aaron's reaction to Alyssa leaving, I was like, okay, his feelings are very valid. His feelings are very, very valid because, that is your number one, somebody who you've been looking out for in this entire game, became a really good friend of yours. Great. And so him having a panic attack, I get it. I understand it. I hope everything works out for him. We'll see next week. But on the flip side, the game person in me, because I am a gamer, the gamer in me was like, you had one thing not go your way and you want to have a panic attack? Like, sorry, guy, this is how life works. It's not.
This like we signed up for this. This is
Right.
real. At the end of the day, we keep forgetting we're there. This is real life while we're there. But this
Right.
is, and if only he knew at that time that she was literally 20 minutes or whatever, a few hours beforehand, throwing him under the bus to rob.
Yeah.
He knew that. Maybe he wouldn't have reacted that way.
Right.
Like he had a panic attack, all that. Like I hope he was doing well and all that. I won't speak ill on that, but
right.
The whole blow up, like because now Amy wanted to get her piece off too, and then he couldn't take it.
Right.
Go your way. You just sent our tent mate home in Miranda, and we're supposed to be like okay because me and Miranda in the tent.
Right.
So we were just chopping it up all night, just talking about life and all that, as I'm sure Miranda said.
Mm-hmm.
But you could do that. You could snake her. You could just throw her in under the bus and then try to form a plan to get Steph out. Even if Miranda, like you had a fail safe for every which way that went your way because she took off and went home, and you were okay with it.
Right.
Everything was all peaches. I saved my princess. But now that your girl went home, even after the fact that she already basically said she's not your girl,
right?
She went home, and now you're doing you're flipping out. I don't know. I think that was I didn't, like I said, I just react. You saw my face at the end of that. I was like,
right.
But like I'm gonna leave that at that.
Yeah.
I
won't have you say much because I understand. I'll say this. I'll say it for you. I was just like, as much as I understand how being in that pressure environment can get to you.
Yes.
Something doesn't go your way. It's not, it's not fun when things.
You can't give it and not take it. You cannot
exactly.
And
not you just did that to Miranda and you were okay with it.
You were cheering, you were high fiving, pounding each other. I saved you, this, that. So it's like you dished it, and now it got dished back, and now you're flipping out. If you can't take the, you know what they say.
You can't take the heat.
Stay out. Stay off the.
Absolutely. And so I'm gonna be honest with you, Nick. I thought when you were like, I'm ready to do this. You want to do this interview? I was like, oh no, is this the week Nick goes home? Oh no. Oh, okay. I'm prepared for that because Kim's week was when I did the interview with Kim, she went home.
Okay.
When I did the interview with Miranda, she went home. And so I was like, are we losing Nick? And then spoiler.
Yeah.
Right. No, because spoiler alert, we also got Amy coming up. It was supposed to be today, but it'll be Tuesday.
That was coming.
And so I was like, oh no, are we losing Amy too? Which one are we losing, Amy or Nick? Neither one of y'all. So I was very happy about that. I was like, oh, okay, cool. I get to talk to somebody who's actually still on the show and not
Talk. We're here to
their
talk.
exit interview. That's so great. But yeah, so I was prepared for you this to be like you done. And I was like, no, Nick is not done. So I had to reposition my questions. And so
Question book out.
right. But if you could do any more reality TV, would you do it? I
Oh,
know you're about to get married and you're about to start, your life
yeah.
and things like that, but would you do it?
I would do it in a heartbeat. This was like my dream since I could dream. Since I could remember dreaming. I was like I said, I was a big challenge fan. Oh, I always loved the challenge. Loved the
Oh, I
physical
think you're
challenge.
amazing. I
So
think you do great on the challenge.
hey,
Ooh.
listen. If they listen, challenge. I'm here. I'm
Challenge
here.
USA. I mean, it's really,
I would love to do that. That was a dream forever. I
yeah,
feel like I crush it, and I think I'm ready. I'm physically ready for it. I'm mentally ready for it. So that was always a dream for me. So if that ever is an opportunity, and other shows as well, always
mhm.
that was always my number one.
I think you'll do good on the challenge for doing the challenges that, and I think they'll underestimate you because they're like, oh, this is just the Deal or No Deal Island guy.
Exactly too. Yeah,
He's not Survivor or Big Brother
yeah,
like they're used to and da da da.
yeah.
But
Meanwhile, they put in my hands in snakes or swimming with dynamite, and
right.
it's like not too bad for our first go around.
I want to talk about the snakes because you were like, okay, nah. Then you're like, you know what? I just got to get in there and do it. I would have tapped out. That would have been my swan song. I would have been like, nope, absolutely not. Snakes ain't me. Mm-mm. What was that like?
That was like it was worse than it looked. It was worse than it looked. So we're running to the boxes. They don't tell us wait. We were running into a snake filled box.
Mm-hmm.
So I get there first. I'm like, oh shit. I don't like snakes. I don't like any type of animal like that. Besides, like if it's a cat or a dog, I don't like anything else.
Yeah.
I'm not used to snakes. We don't have snakes out in Brooklyn. I don't really see them.
Look, I'm from Chicago. We ain't had that either. So
Yeah.
no.
So I'm like, what is this? So I can't do this. So I put my hand in there, and then as I'm like tiptoeing, I hear Jordan like, oh, they don't bite. As she says that, right on my finger, I'm like, yes, they do. So Alyssa, I give Alyssa credit. She was in there first, but then once she saw me get bit,
Mm-hmm.
like she backed up, and we like readjusted, and I'm like, we're going nowhere fast. And that's when I fight or flight kicked in. I'm like, they wouldn't put these snakes in there if they were gonna kill me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I could deal with some pain. So that's when I said, watch out, Alyssa. I just got in there. I closed my eyes. I don't know if they showed it. I closed my eyes. I put
Mm-hmm.
my thumbs in, and I was just twisting and turning and hoping for the best. But
I would. Yeah, that would not have been my gig. I would have been like, I hope my partner is
you
able
would
to.
have took the Dawson route. He was using.
Absolutely. I would have been like,
Leave
yeah.
it. Fuck it. Stop.
Right. Just it would have been bad. I'm like, if we get one, I'm done. Like I'm not going back in there. I it was some crazy challenges and wild things that's happening. I know it's probably more wilder things to come. I can't wait to see it because I'm fully invested in this season. I'm fully invested, especially after last week. It's like, okay,
How could you not be?
how could you not? Like it's so good. And I want to know if hold on, I want to. What's your relationship with the cast now that it's airing? Are you? I mean, I've seen. That's how I even asked you to be on the podcast, getting into the the Twitter space with Kim. So it looks like you all are get along for the most part. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, for sure. We're definitely all pretty much. Well, not everybody, but for the most part, everybody gets along.
Mm-hmm.
Whether we do things on the show to each other, whatever's to come. I'm not throwing any spoilers out there. Whatever happens on the show, I'd like to keep the show on the show. That's been my thing. Listen, this is a game show. As long
Mm-hmm.
as long as things don't get personal,
Absolutely.
like anybody's life outside. If you did some like little maneuver to get me out, or if I did a maneuver to get you out,
Game is game.
game is game. So that's how I take it. Some people are not taking it that way. Let's
Well,
say, you know, let's listen. Some people unfollowing people on Instagram and stuff, which is to me, I guess. Listen, if it was a actual altercation interaction,
mhm,
like so and so had the last episode,
right.
but a few other ones have been happening. As of,
No,
I'm not going to throw out some names,
no,
but
you don't
it's
have to. I mean, look, we'll talk after you finish. No.
it's at, but, I guess some people can't differentiate game and game between game and real life. Meanwhile, the ones that they really should be worried about, who really kind of backstabbed you in the first place
Right,
on last episode, and then
right.
you're kind of blaming everybody else for her wrongdoing. So I'm gonna just leave it at that without saying names.
That's I appreciate
We could
that.
we I could do their math and their investigations. It's not
Yeah,
too
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm about to say my sleuthing skills is on, and I pretty much figured out. Okay, that's I appreciate you even saying that. That's wild because, like you said, game is game,
it's game.
and sometimes it's not even about.
Like look, let's say I just watched you watch Traders, obviously.
Absolutely.
So I just finished Traders 2 finale.
Hmm.
And then I watched the reunion, and you
Yeah,
MJ was still mad at Trishelle and CT. Dude, game is game.
the game is
That,
over.
those two grew up together.
Absolutely.
So she's still mad at CT and Trishelle. But then even Trishelle's like, yo, this is a game. Like, you listen, you got outgamed.
Out.
And you're still mad about that on a personal level. That's where I draw a disconnect because listen, this is a different life. Your reality TV life,
Mm-hmm.
unless you're like those big guys, but like it still should be separate from your real life. And if you get duped, listen, this is big money. I don't gotta share it. I don't gotta share my whatever the prize was 3 ways. I'd rather share it 2 ways.
Absolutely.
So
And that made sense. And that's what I was like. I had the same reaction. I was like, MJ, girl, you
still
can't
mad.
get mad about this. A 20-year relationship. This is a
Yeah,
20 year.
and
You
bro,
put yourself in that situation by voting out Sandra. Like you could have took CT out and you wouldn't have to worry about it.
he could have easily took it into her own hands, and she would have been solid right there. She should have
Because
known.
I think Sandra would have kept it 3 ways. Because
Yeah,
she would have known that Trishelle is a faithful and MJ was a faithful.
I think so.
So
Yeah,
I
so
think she would
she
have
did
kept
it.
it, but you chose to get rid of Sandra. So
Yeah, listen, people, when you're in the game, also, the adrenaline's rushing. You make drastic,
mm-hmm.
that sometimes could hurt you and sometimes could help you. But that's what you won't know until you're actually in that predicament.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna do, and it could always say, "Oh, I should have did this. I could have did that." It did, so you can't get mad at that.
Absolutely. Oh, and by the way, check out our Sandra interview right there. It'll come up right there. I interviewed Sandra too. So check that interview out
Yeah.
too. Bam. Um, yeah, it's the difference. You had and I like I said, I play a lot of online games. That's why I even met Kim was playing online games.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah, the online community that is huge right now. And so had to learn that quickly. Like you can't be mad when you just got outplayed.
That's just it. That's
It's
what it is. It's game. It's a game. You lost. If you lose in Monopoly, you're not gonna talk to me after
right.
I put it in the box because I smoked your Monopoly. Like
Right. It's
that.
a game. Let it go. We move.
But some people move how they move.
Absolutely. Okay. So I'm gonna start wrapping this up because I don't want to keep up too much of your time. But I do want to know because like I said, this is the first time I interviewed somebody who's still in the game. So I can't we're not talking about your exit and how and so I can't even ask you like how much further do you go? That's not
Yeah.
no, we won't know that. I wouldn't even want to know. I want to be surprised along with everybody else.
Surprised.
But if I want to know because I want to know stuff, but I know I can't ask it, and that's my mind, and I hate it. I hate it, but it is what it is. Okay, so I'll just say this. I'll
Yeah,
say this.
don't worry.
Yeah, because I want to know, like, did you play Deal or No Deal? Did you ever get to play, or did I can't? You can't answer all that.
We'll talk at another time.
It'll work. It'll come out when it comes out. But when you as you're watching this, when you're watching it back and watching each episode each week, how shocked are you at the edits? Because some people are getting a whole lot more edits, and some people we still or just now finding out about. Like this week, we just found out about Jordan and her
Yeah,
back. I had no idea what Jordan was about and what she was a part of. And then same thing, they did the same thing with Miranda. We didn't know who Miranda was until her exit. Her
yeah,
uh,
pretty
we,
much her
so,
little bomb that she left at the temple.
absolutely. So, what do you think about the edit?
Yeah, I so this is my first time on TV, so you know they obviously have a lot of they
I'm sorry.
obviously have a lot of no, don't worry about it. They have a lot of content to deal with. We're filming round the clock, so and there's only a certain short amount to get into an episode,
Mhm.
especially with the excursion, with the temple. So now
Right.
you really got a little bit of time. So to say I was surprised, yeah, I was a little surprised. Something get everybody. People have been upset, like, oh, I'm not on this. They haven't shown me, blah blah blah. But they're showing a lot of Rob. Rob brings the viewers.
Mhm.
Rob, he already has that track record for him. So people, you see in the comments, I'm not watching if Rob gets eliminated. I think that people are full of shit. But he does. He is good TV. I will say he is great TV. But it sucks. It does suck seeing some people not being shown a lot. Finally great to see Jordan out there. She has a great story. Miranda, I wish we saw more of her, but she went out with a bang, and
Yeah,
people remember her for that. So
absolutely.
you got to just make the most of what you can. You got to give the TV what they. At the same time, people are still watching for a reason. If you're just like not giving them anything, they're not.
Mhm.
So Rob knows what to give them. So
Absolutely.
give him all the credit in the world.
Absolutely. Now, I know I asked you about other reality shows, and I've been asking. I think I asked him and Miranda, so I'm gonna ask you: if you did traders, would you want to be a trader or would you want to be a faithful?
I think I would want to be a well, it's just so much easier. I feel like as a trader, you have to be like the ultimate gamer. Like, look at Phaedra. I thought she was amazing. I thought I, it was like picture perfect until everything.
Dan,
I think
Dan.
that could be real out of it. He screwed her. Like that wasn't game. That was you know that was
Yeah,
my opinion.
mine too. I said, look, if you saw our recaps on traders, we said the
I
same
got
thing. Like he took it beyond the game and decided
like
he
you were
was
just salty that you lost, and now you're being whack. But
black.
to me, being it's a lot more work than a faithful. So I don't know, but I would do either one. But I would initially want faithful because I'm a nice guy. I'm a good guy. You could trust me.
Yeah, I almost believe that, Nick. I almost believe that. I would have been like, yeah,
But got you.
Nick, you almost got me. Yeah. I would love to do something like a traders, and I would want to. I always say I want to be a trader because
No,
I feel like people always trust me. Like I've
I
even played like
would
trader, like online trader games, and people feel like they just trust me, and I'm like, yeah,
be a good trader. But now that you told me,
yeah.
I
I
got
mean,
your number. I got
yeah,
your
I
number.
would never be on traders because I could not even get on reality TV to start with. But it's
Never,
okay.
never.
Who knows? Look, I told Kim I was going to put in my application for Deal or No Deal
You
too.
must,
So
you must do
so
that.
we'll see what happens. But yeah, I think you'll be a good faithful. I do think you'll be a good faithful.
I
I
think
don't
so.
know if I would. I think you'll be. I don't know if I would believe. I would probably believe you're a traitor though. It's
No.
something about you that would make me go, "Oh, that guy's a traitor."
Ooh, so you see that? That's not good. Then my
And
game.
I
Like
know, and that's not
20%.
good.
Guy just looks like a traitor. You get him out of there.
Absolutely,
Put it
and
out.
I hate to say it, but I would probably be that woman. Like I don't know, it's something about that guy that just gives me this traitor vibe. I don't know what it is, but then I'll be like, "Oh, I'm devastated when you say I'm a faithful. Oh,
Yeah.
I can't believe I messed up." Yeah,
See what you did, Milana.
I know, I know. I'll buy you a steak dinner afterwards. It'd be one of those
I
things. Like I
love
just
steak, so that's fine with me.
her word. So I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna wrap it up because for one, my nephew would not let us be great, and for two, like I said, I don't want to take up too much of your time. But my last question, and I want to end it with a good one. So, Nick, I heard you're getting married in Italy soon.
Getting married.
And Miranda told me that she was going to be there. And I was like, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. I was like, oh, in Italy, that's all right. Work. I love that for you.
Thank you.
So, I'm trying to word it the best way I can without trying to because like,
That's some fine Italian wine right there.
I see that. I see that. It looks delicious. It looks delicious. It if is a lot of the cast invited to go, or is all the cast invited?
Not all. Not all of
Not
them.
all. Not all.
We could not all of them.
Okay. Okay. That's cool. You want to say much more? You want to say much more? Um, were you going to get a Deal or No Deal Island tattoo? Because a lot of people were talking about tattooing and things like that.
We know we all spoke about it, but I got no tattoos on me, so that would be my first one.
Okay.
It would have to. It was a big part of my life.
Mm-hmm.
That Deal or No Deal Island was definitely a huge part of my life. But I would have to see. I would have to, run it. My boss, my fiance.
Mm-hmm.
See if she would probably want to resembling her at least before I do that. But
I mean, it'll be cute. Say that again.
Don't put a bumper sticker on a Ferrari,
What? See, Nick. Okay, let me let you go because you you doing too much. It's too much. I can't. But that is very true. That is very true. Like, why would you? I don't have tattoos either for that very reason. Because I'm like, why would you mark?
You don't do that to a Bentley.
Absolutely. Why would you put a bumper sticker on a Rolls Royce? Like,
you were made the way you were for a reason.
Absolutely.
Temporary stamps, the little tattoos that rub off in like a week.
Yeah. Sure.
Just send me one.
Do it, take a picture, and let everybody think you got the real deal, and then
those
work. But Nick, I thank you so much. I thank you so much for giving us your time to be here and talking to us, and I cannot wait to see what happens next because I personally don't think you're going in the next couple of episodes, if at all. I think you're making it to the end. Me personally, I'm just gonna say that. I think you're making it to the end, and we'll see what happens with the.
We'll see what happens. But thank you so much for having me. It was a blast, and I would love to do this anytime. Thank you for having me.
Oh, absolutely. Look, I would love to have you back because we're getting Kim and Miranda to come back for the finale. So if you want to come back and talk finale with us, we would love to have you. So
I'm always up. Sure. Let me know.
I will definitely let you know. I will keep you posted. But I didn't put not one. Hold on, baby. I didn't put a banner up or anything. But y'all know the banners are there. Follow The Cup on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at The Cup Pod. That link will be in the description below. Follow Nick on his Twitter,
Instagram, all that
Instagram. I'll put all those links in the description below as well. And get your cup merch. Period.
That
at Lana G's Creations at Etsy.com. The link is in the description below also. And hit the notification bell and the subscribe button on your way out. We appreciate you. My nephew appreciates you. He will not stop talking. And you gonna fall out this chair if you keep playing around.
Fired up. That last episode got him fired up.
He is fired up. He really want to talk to him about it. So, but we gonna get out of here. We thank you. We appreciate you all for watching. And cheers, y'all. Cheers. Bye. I'm gonna let you get the last word.